101 go through. Panic Attack out. That's a major surprise. Next up, Chaos 2 against Kilohertz.
From England, Chaos 2.
Builder George Francis is a Robot Wars veteran. He's got the knowledge and the hardware, 20 miles an hour speeds, a CO2-powered high-pressure flipper, 0 turning circle, and the desire to cause chaos.
I'm George, this is Ian, and his son Richard. This is our robot, Chaos 2. We're representing England in the internationals.
And the main features of our robot are a very powerful flipper which can throw robots right up into the air. It's got very powerful motors, it goes very quickly, and it's got high traction.
From the Czech Republic, Kilohertz.
The pickaxe weapon has interchangeable heads. It's the heaviest in the World Championships at 83.1 kilos. Took 5 months and 2,000 pounds to build, but it's high, can be easily flipped.
Hi, he's Dominic.
And he's John.
This is our robot, Kilohertz. Nice big powerful axe, even more powerful axe this year. Titanium cutting blade at the front end. And this is our new driver.
We're representing the Czech Republic because I'm half Czech. This is our slogan here, Marš šlupatý pupíček.
It actually means you have a hairy tummy button.
Roboteers, stand by.
Chaos 2, much fancied in the pits, let me tell you. George Francis at the controls there. And Kilohertz with Dominic Parkinson on the right and his rather tenuous links with the Czech Republic. In the interest of international relations, though, he's flying that flag with his hairy tummy button. Interesting, all the facts you know about the Robot Wars competitors, isn't it? I wonder who's got the hairiest tummy button in the Chaos 2 team. One dreads to think. Now, Kilohertz just manoeuvring itself to come in on the attack on Chaos 2. Ooh, that hammer looks very, very punishing. Moving away. And this is very, very active here at the moment now. Kilohertz again to try and manoeuvre to get a run in and then slam that hammer down. Good driving, though, by George Francis, taking Chaos 2 out of danger's way. Out of harm's reach. Well, there's no use slamming the Kilohertz hammer down on the arena floor like some woodpecker maddened with rage. But now Chaos 2 is between Shunt and Kilohertz, and again had to get out of the way of those two mighty axes coming swinging down. There's the Czech team, and Chaos 2 know they're in trouble here. And this isn't the way people in the pits thought this battle would go. Chaos 2 sustaining real damage, look at that! The CO2 canister's been pierced by Shunt. Now that will take any power out of the main weapon of Chaos 2, the high-pressure flip, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Kilohertz also taking damage from Shunt, just controlling itself and getting away. There still seems to be power in the Chaos 2 weapon to me. We'll wait and see. It's in the CPZ. It needs to get out of there now. Oh, Kilohertz is flipped up on its side. This is amazing stuff. Great stuff. This is the sort of stuff we actually dream about in the Robot Wars team. I know. Frightening, isn't it? Rather spooky and sad, too. And here's Chaos 2 trying to get away from Kilohertz. Kilohertz is on his back. Oh, lovely. Lovely. You can see the belly of Kilohertz. Oh, Kilohertz, the wheels spinning. They're trying to right themselves. They can't. They're out. They're immobilized. It's Chaos 2 and George Francis who go through. The Kilohertz team out from the Czech Republic. Even though, at that point, when the CO2 canister was burst, it seemed that Chaos 2 would be heading out. Not so, though. Chaos 2 are through. And next up, Cerberus from Cyprus, named after the dog which used to guard the underworld in Greek mythology, against the Mauler from the USA. Although we've got problems, I hear, with Mauler in the pits. And Mauler has had to go out into the testing zone for a final trial. And the problem is the weaponry and the safety of that flailing weapon. Does that look under control to you? One final test to see if the team from California can stay in the competition. Is that safe? That's the major concern.
We've done a risk assessment on your robot. We cannot put our names, either health and safety or the production, to that risk assessment because we feel that the robot is too unsafe to go into that arena. We cannot risk it.
The potential for harm, the fact that the welding, for instance, we would have to have a certificate for the welding. on there. And now we haven't even got that.
Right.
We haven't even got the right measures in place, and you haven't brought your own risk assessment for your robot. That's why I, as their health and safety officer, have to say to them, it has to go under test conditions first.
And of course, we haven't got that environment here. And so, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to allow you to compete.
We win by default.
You don't win by default, so risk go through. I'm really, really sorry. Because of the legal aspects of over here in this country, we cannot do this.
Well, fine, I've asked my questions in advance of them, and I don't see any way around it. So, que sera, sera. Back to San Francisco.
So, Cerberus go through by default. They're first up against Diotior of Ireland. Chaos 2 against Razor is an all-English affair. So is Mortis against Behemoth. And then Northern Ireland in the shape of Weldor against 101. The surprise winners, of course, over Panic Attack. And that's the lineup for the quarterfinals.
You asked the chaps, they really don't want to hit us.
It was nothing to do with South Bay Mall being too dangerous for Robot Wars.
Maybe. I'm not saying anything, nothing definitive.
I want to know the truth as well.
Yes.
Are you slightly relieved?
Of course we're relieved. Bet we're lunatics or something.
But as the competition hots up and the house robots turn even nastier, we'll see who's got what it takes in the quarterfinals.
From Cyprus, Cerberus.
A circular tungsten-tipped saw, stainless steel claws, steel ram and clubbing tail make Cerberus a growling dog from hell. The body shells Kevlar took 8 weeks to build.
My name is Theo. This is Vaso. This is Alex. This is our robot Cerberus. We are representing Cyprus. The front here is his head, which acts as a ram. The tail acts as a sweeping weapon and can also push opponents over. He has 2 sets of claws at the back and at the front.
Rising towards Bot Halla, Robot Wars Heaven, the two teams. Diotior from Ireland, and they're the boys from Cyprus.
Roboteers, stand by.
The first spotted Diotior with Peter, Joe and Kieran. And Cerberus, magnificent-looking robot. Well done to the Cypriot boys for putting that together. Super-looking robot, isn't it, Cerberus? With the tail and the head, the eyes there. And Diotior as well, with the boggle eyes and the great lurid grin. And the fur covering, balding at the back, of course. That's the fur covering, I should say, on Diotior, balding at the back. And they'll need to avoid the flame pits. And the gnashers of Cerberus, and the claws too, and the tail. It's not wagging at the moment, though. Enjoy, because Diotior is causing trouble. Don't forget that lifting ram. Very powerful. Oh, and flipping Cerberus up and over. Almost like a little puppy dog that wants a tickled tummy. Cerberus, though, beginning to growl and prowl. And the tail clamping down on the lifting mechanism of Diotior. Spinning away Cerberus. Oh, Killalot in there from the CPZ, the house robot, coming into play. Cerberus spins, comes on the attack again. Diotior flips it once and tries for the big one that'll end it, surely! Over goes Cerberus. The Irish boys are through, Cerberus out. Immobilised by this great flip. Once they tried it, up and over. And give that doggy a kennel for the night. It's all over for Cerberus. Oh, no. Oh, look, in the top of your picture, Diotior is on fire again. But we don't need this also. The house robot's coming in on Cerberus. Someone should stop this. You may laugh, that's your machine. It took you 8 weeks to build, just about to be gnashed and gnawed and tattered and torn by Killalot and Co. Someone call a stop to this. This isn't fair. Oh, I don't want to watch. Cerberus is being torn to pieces out there. Cerberus in pain. Ooh, and torture. And Diotior's on fire. They won't mind that. They love to burn, baby, burn. Robot Inferno. That's the song on Diotior lips. And meanwhile, Cerberus about to taste tire at the bottom of the pit.
Cease.
Disappointment for the Cypriot boys.
Well, Cerberus go in the pits, Diotior go through. Bulabus Gadina Bukaleos Eren.
The fur was in his eyes. He had the vision and the ambition, but just not the knack.
Not the knack.
Yeah, but his head survived.
So?
Really?
So
you're still out?
We're still out, yeah, but you know, it's always next year we'll come back for a visit, you know, and you know, slap a few robots around.
Yeah?
Yes.
He's learned a lot this year.
He's learned a lot.
A whole lot.
He's in a terrible mess. Oh!
Yes.
Was this Kill-A-Lot?
But, you know, I think he wanted a bit for a souvenir. He could have asked. I would have given a piece. You know what I mean?
We'll be better equipped next year.
We'll be better equipped next year. Bigger claws.
Stunning robot, isn't it?
It's when we had it, like it just started
slavering for you.
screaming.
Did you see we tried to scrape our name onto the side of it?
Yeah. We should
Oh, is that what you were trying to do? I thought it was just taking you ages to flip it over.
flip it over.
I think that's the first time he's cracked a gag that hasn't been funny. Well, it's first time for everything.